Microgreens are simply sprouts that have been allowed to grow in soil to be slightly bigger. The seeds we'll use for these are sunflower seeds and wheat seeds. Sunflower seeds end up making sunflower greens, and sunflower greens are one of my favorite microgreens because they're so easy to grow, they taste absolutely delicious, and they're incredibly nutrient rich. Wheatgrass you may have heard of. You literally plant your wheat seeds and grow it into grass, and then you can cut that grass and juice it and drink little wheatgrass shots. Wheatgrass is used in healing clinics around the world because it's so potent in alkalizing and nutrifying the body. So growing microgreens at home is very simple. You don't need a big garden. You simply need a tray, some seedling trays, the seeds, and a windowsill and half sunlight. What I'm going to be using are these little black seedling trays. I find them to be the most versatile and useful. You can do a number of them. I normally plant once a week about 6 of these trays with sunflower greens, and that'll provide me with greens throughout the week. You can do the same with wheatgrass. So to begin with, you're going to get your seeds. And the process is exactly the same whether you're using wheat seed or sunflower seed. The sunflower seed needs to be in its shell, unhulled. That way you get a high sprout rate. And these sunflower seeds I actually got from the garden out of some of the beautiful sunflowers that are growing at the moment. So you take the seed and soak it for about 12 to 24 hours in water, drain the water, and then for another 12 to 24 hours leave it in that damp container to allow the seeds to start sprouting. You'll see little roots will start coming out of either the sunflower or the wheatgrass. And once you see the root, you know it's ready to put into the soil. So you're then going to get your soil, which you want to get organic seedling soil, a finer type of soil that allows the seeds to grow more easily. Then you've got your trays, and I use the base simply to catch the water, because if you're watering them on a daily basis and the water just pours right out, they'll dry out a lot quicker, especially in summer. Okay, and just pop the trays down there. Then you're going to put some soil into your trays, about 2 handfuls, more than enough, or 2 scoopfuls of little spade. You can literally just shake it into place and even it out, just like that. And so you end up with a tray that's about half full of soil, and you basically want to put in enough that the soil is covered, but you don't want a lot of seed so that the seeds have to compete too heavily to get space. So it's normally about a big handful and a half of seed. Then you simply want to spread the seeds out evenly on the tray. Cover the seed with 1 layer of soil. That'll just make sure that if any of the seed don't sprout, the bacteria in the soil will eat it up instead of you getting fungus in your greens. So that's that tray done. Now we go into the wheat. So it's the same with the wheat. We're just going to put in about a handful or so of wheat seeds and just spread them around evenly. Once they're spread around, just cover them with another layer of soil. And this is very fine soil, so that the seedlings will be able to push up quite easily. There we go. Last thing to do, don't forget the step, is to give them a good watering so that they can start getting their roots into the soil. There we go. So that's done now. I would, for the first, say, 3 or 4 days, put them in the shade, not in any sunlight. Just let the roots give themselves a chance to establish. And once you can see that there's greenery coming out, then you can move it into half sun or maybe an hour or 2 of sunlight a day. It'll take about a week to 2 weeks, depending on the temperature, for your seedlings to get to about this big. And at this stage, they're perfect to harvest. For the sunflowers and wheatgrass will probably get up not so high off your tray, similar to the sunflower, and then you'll cut it at the bottom and use that in your juicer for wheatgrass juice. Okay, the one thing you can do now that you've put your seeds in the soil and they're going to start growing for you is to increase the amount of nutrition that they have. The more minerals they have available, the quicker they're going to grow and the healthier it is going to be for you to eat those greens. And the easiest way of doing that is to use ocean minerals. The sea has all minerals within it, and those minerals are really beneficial in allowing your plants to grow better. So you can either use seawater that you've collected from a very clean source, or you can use sea salts. or Himalayan rock salts. And if you're going to be using ocean water, you'll mix 1 part ocean water to around 20 parts fresh water. And if you're going to be using salt, then you'll use 1 part salt to around 200 parts fresh water. So that equates to about a gram of salt to 200 mils of water, or a teaspoon to around 2 liters. So in a watering can of 5 liters, you're probably looking about 3 teaspoons of salt. Stir it in, and then when you water your greens, just water them with that solution. And then they'll grow up being able to absorb all of those nutrients.